What's going on, guys? It's your boy ET, and today I'm going to be ranking all of the Chapter 2 Fortnite seasons from overall ranking, such as the skins, the seasons, the battle pass, the guns, the updates, the map, as well as some live events, all sorts of stuff, and I'll be ranking them overall. And let's get right to it. So right now, the remix is out, and I just wanted to make a special video for that. I will be uploading Chapter 2 videos, obviously, and some gameplays, and hopefully even just like a recap of it all. But as of right now, I want to rate. If you want to see more of tier listing videos, you can subscribe for that, and you could comment down below which ones you might want me to do a tier list on. It could be anything. If I know about it. If I don't, I probably can't. But or I could just get knowledge of it. But as of right now, let's go and let's start off with Chapter 2 itself, the introduction. Now this season, it was alright. I'll say the season was alright, okay? It was not a bad season, and I would say, like, you know, it was fun. I just think it lasted forever, okay? So, I didn't really play that much Chapter 1 because it was when I first started, and I was playing other games like Call of Duty, but I remember, like, okay, so apparently it came out in October, and it ended like in February, so that's a long time. But it was not bad. People complained that there was not a lot of updates, and yeah, there wasn't really much updates. Really, kind of just like the Fortnite mares on the middle island turned into like the zombie place, and then the snow. One thing I like is that the snow, like the whole map was snow, other than any other season where it was just like partially. Like, do you guys remember Chapter 2? Like, was it Season 5 where like only a quarter of the map was snow and it was like a perfect sphere? It was so weird, but we're gonna get to that eventually. But yeah, the season was fun. The skins were pretty decent. I remember that was the first battle pass I've ever gotten, because I never took battle passes seriously, and I remember just being so excited to have like Ripley and things like that. Very creative battle pass, and I did like it was just a whole introduction to a whole new chapter, which is pretty cool. So honestly, that itself should bump it up to a fun season. It lasted long, but it was an introduction to like new things. Like we were finally able to swim, new guns, new graphics, all types of stuff. So honestly, that was a pretty good season, but it would probably remain low on fun season, simply because I think the fact that it was a new chapter kind of saved it. Now let's go to Chapter 2 Season 2. This was definitely a pretty decent season. I mean, let's not lie. Like, it came out with a lot of good stuff. The bosses, the mythics, the skins, the battle pass was really nice in this season. Like, I was very excited for it. You know, it was cool. The whole theme of like the spies and the ghost versus the shadow, and Midas has a 100 tier 100 skin. It was just so, it was very nice battle pass. I'd probably say that definitely goes up in the highest tier, the W season. It was a W season. The way that you can, you know, disguise yourself as the guards so that you don't get shot by them, the security cameras, and even just the bosses themselves. Like, who remembers the amount of nerves you had dropping into agency with like at least 20 other players in there trying to kill Midas, trying to get that golden drum gun. And then another thing was the fact that they added the helicopters. The helicopters were definitely a cool thing, because I'm pretty sure they wanted helicopters for a while and they hadn't came out until Chapter 2. And I just remember like just flying in helicopters all the time, just because it was such a fun thing to do. And then I also remember Sky's Scar was so overpowered. Like, I would never land Shark if it wasn't for the assault rifle. I remember picking it up from somebody I killed, because I never really went to kill bosses, because at this time I was a pretty bad player still, and I had no confidence in beating out an entire lobby to get somebody's a mythic from a boss. But I just remember picking up that Scar and just getting, I think I got like 10 kills that game or something like that. Maybe it was a little lower, but it was more than average. And I just remember how overpowered it was. It shot so fast, it did such good damage. I just like that they added, you know, this was the first time mythics were also added, I'm pretty sure. So just overpowered versions of certain guns, but you had to like defeat bosses for it. I thought that was so cool. And then the updates were also pretty nice as well. It was a great season, especially the skins. Like, I remember TNT, I remember Sky, but Midas was probably it was my main skin for the longest time in the world. And everybody liked Midas. It was like a sweat skin. And then especially the fact that when you picked up his guns, it would turn gold. That was just awesome, and you know, that's definitely up on the W season tier list. And let's not forget about the live event at the end, the device event. Funny story, I went to load into the device, and my game froze, so I went to restart it, but it was too late. I couldn't get back into the servers, so I technically missed the event, but I did watch it on YouTube, and it played a huge part in the storyline, a huge part. And I did like that the final few days the storm kind of turned into a giant tsunami. That was very cool. But overall, this season was one of the best seasons Fortnite has ever created in all of Fortnite history. Now let's go to season 3. Season 3, the flood happened, and it was a pretty decent season. I'd say it goes pretty high up into fun season, because the battle pass was insane. I remember Fade is a great skin. Jules also a great skin as well. The skins in general were just very, very good, and I just remember not complaining about a single one of those skins, especially Kit. I remember using Kit, getting such high amount of kills, and I just said it was my sweaty skin. Overall though, it was very, very good season. The introduction of the charged shotgun, which honestly was insane. I used to hate the charged shotgun, and then they made it overpowered, and then I just never stopped using the charged shotgun. I did like the fact that the map was flooded, and that over time it went lower and lower, and I just thought that was super cool. And the sharks were so awesome. Like, imagine using a shark as a vehicle to get around, because you couldn't really use cars because the water is everywhere, so you had to use boats and you had to use sharks. And just sharks was just a cool addition to the season, because you had to get around the map without while risking yourself, because you're about to get eaten by a shark. And the sharks weren't overpowered. They wouldn't like kill you off of one bite or like two. It would take quite a bit, but I thought that was cool because you kind of had to be cautious like while traveling, because you had this big shark thing and just ready to eat you at any moment. I did really like the mythics. Kit's charged shotgun was insane, especially Ocean's Burst. That was one of the best ones. I think the Tommy gun was alright, but I did like the Midas is better because it shot faster. And yeah, I did also like the Authority. It was a very cool addition to the whole storyline as well. I also really liked the fact that it kind of changed the way Fortnite was played, because majority of it is water, and you have to kind of move around differently, use different tactics and things like that. I just think in general that was just a very, very cool season. And yeah, and then I liked how over time, you know, things got flooded, and then Coral Castle came out and nobody landed there, but it was a good season overall. Like, honestly, I think it was so interesting to have a flooded map in a battle royale game, you know. Chapter 2 season 4 I think is my favorite chapter 2 season of all time, and here's why. It was a full Marvel collab season, and all of the skins were so peak. Like, there's not one skin in that battle pass that I say I would never use. And I just remember grinding for all the skins, doing the challenges for the skins, and how, you know, you could do the emotes and change the skin you're using. Like, I think that was just insane. Especially the fact that, you know, like, it's a Marvel season, you know? A lot of kids are going to want to play that. A lot of kids are like, oh my gosh, my favorite superhero is in Fortnite. I want to use him because he's only $10 and it comes with all the other superheroes that I like in the battle pass. I thought that was insane. And in general, I think this is where some of the best map changes has ever occurred. So, in the beginning, you know, I remember not being able to play the first day because I was on vacation, but I did remember reading all the leaks and stuff, and I remember them adding all the new fish with all the new abilities, and I thought that was so cool because if you could go fishing in the game. I know it sounds weird, but you could go fishing in the game and get a cool fish that would help you out with your game. Like, you could get a fish that freaking rifts you from one side of the map to the other. You could get a fish that pings enemies. I think that was one of the rarest ones. I just remember going into like what was it, Battle Lab, and just fishing for the most rarest fish and like flexing that I caught it in like group chats, and it would be the coolest thing. But it was just fun to do. But in general, the mythics, I think the mythics and the that was obviously really nice. But also the robots, I forgot what they were called. Stark bots, were they? I don't remember. We used to call them Stark bots. I don't know if that's the actual name for it. But I remember you like they would land and then you would have to kill them for like the Tony Stark's rifle, and then the drones out there, you shot down the drones and it gave you items. I thought that was awesome. I also like the fact that you could go and, kill certain bosses and get their weapons. And there's just so much I could talk about it in this season. I also like Doctor Doom's Mythic. You would land at Pleasant Park. I also like the addition that Pleasant Park turned into a vault. But when Doctor Doom came in and you had to defeat him for his Mythic, that was insane because his Mythic was low-key overpowered. The updates, when Doctor Strange came in and added certain parts of the map for certain characters and things like that. I think one of the best updates was the whole Stark Industries area. They had Heart Lake. It just looked amazing. And then you just had Stark Industries there. I remember that was like me and my friends' peak creative time, so we would always recreate things. We recreated Stark Industries, and I would probably show it if I get a chance. But it was like a spitting image of it. But I like that, it was very different because it was literally bringing other universes into your map and being able to defeat bosses and getting their weapons. And the weapons were good. You had Iron Man's Unibeam and his repulsors. How crazy is that? Let's also talk about the LTM Marvel Knockout. One of the best ever LTMs I've ever played in Chapter 2. In general, honestly, because being able to have a game where it was close quarter 2v2 combat or 4v4 combat using Marvel superheroes abilities was honestly super awesome. And it was just fun to play with friends, and it was a great way, like if you didn't want to play Battle Royale, you could play Marvel Knockout and have a very, very, very good time. And let's definitely not forget the Galactus being playing a big part of the map and the storyline. Just the fact that you could see him from far away was honestly pretty interesting in itself. And the last few days of the season, he was emerging from the sea, and then the event itself, which is super duper insane. They said it was one of the biggest events, and yeah, at the time, yes, it was insane. I remember that was my first ever live event I was able to witness by myself, and it was so insane seeing a giant figure trying to attack you, and you being teleported into different dimensions and things like that to defeat Galactus. I just thought, in general, that season is definitely something I wish would return, and I wish I could play again, because that was one of my favorite seasons in Fortnite ever, especially Chapter 2. That will probably remain up in the top of all time. Now, Chapter 2, Season 5. It's pretty good. It's pretty decent. The skins were all right. I did like the Mandalorian being added. I don't watch Star Wars or any of that, but I did like the Mandalorian, and I did like the Mythic, and I did use Baby Yoda a lot. But I think Chapter 2 Season 5 was a pretty nice way of transitioning from Chapter 2 Season 4 to 5, because it was, in general, it was nice. Just the new addition of the 0 point being exposed played a huge part in it. And it also it played a huge part, but it was also a very cool addition to the map. The whole middle of the map being sand and crystals. That was just honestly really nice. And the crystals giving you the abilities, and it also introduced the fish that also did the same thing. I forgot the name, but the 0 point fish or something like that. I don't remember, but it was nice. The skins were they were all right. Man Cake was. I mean, I used him, but I used the better skins, definitely. I did really like Condor as well, but I think Mandalorian was probably the best out of all of them. I don't think it got that many updates that I remember. Let's not forget about sand tunneling being disabled for majority of the season, but other than that, the season's not that bad. It was a great season. It was a nice season. The battle pass was questionable, but the season was very, very cool. Very nice season. Chapter 2, Season 6, I'm gonna say it's alright. It's all right. Here's why. Okay, so yeah, it did play a huge part in the storyline and all, but honestly, it could have been better. The weapons were very bad. They were very bad. The adding the primal weapons and mechanic weapons. I did like the fact that they added the crafting, which is honestly really nice. But I think something about the just the weapons that they added were very, very bad. I mean, the bow and arrow was real nice, really cool, but the shotgun sucked. And then the drum shotgun was overpowered. Like, wow, it was very not balanced. The assault rifles were terrifying. SMGs, they're pretty good, but the assault rifles were very questionable. Maybe the primal assault rifle was pretty good. The mechanical one out of camp. If anybody used the mechanical one and didn't replace it, they'd probably never played the game before. The dinosaurs were what pissed me off, probably the most out of this entire season. The wolves, the addition of the wolves and the chickens and all that stuff was very, very cool. But the dinosaurs really got me mad because they were always chasing me for nothing. And like every time I was in a gun battle, they would just attack me. Yeah, you could like. I'm pretty sure you were able to tame them if I can remember, but other than that, it was mid, very mid. Just the guns mainly sucked. The map was not bad. The Spire was a cool addition to the map, but I didn't like that they got rid of Salty Springs. That was a very nice spot. They turned it into like this tilted tower looking place, but honestly, I think Salty Springs was way better. Yeah, I feel like that was a pretty decent season. Not a bad season, but overall, I think it could have been better, in my opinion. Obviously, you obviously have different opinions, and if you do, you could let me know in the comments what you think about certain seasons. You know, I'd love to know your opinion. But from my opinion, this season could have been better. But I did like Namor. Namor being added was awesome. That was very nice, and the Agent Jonesy skin. The Battle Pass skins were pretty good. Yeah, I rate that like an 8 out of 10. Cluck is questionable, but people used him and people liked the skin. It was very nice. Other than that, season's not that bad. Marshmallow made his return that season, so that was something to appreciate as well. So I think it just could have been way better. I think the guns could have been better. Maybe I'm just being picky, but other than that, I just think there was better seasons, way better seasons. Invasion, that's gonna go. It's definitely fun. Let me see. I'll probably go here. Yeah, either here or up here. But let's see. So I'm gonna tell you why. It was cool. The theme was nice. The fact that aliens were coming. The fact that they added Sloan and all that. That was very, very cool. The Chimera you were able to customize. That was awesome. Honestly, this season was one of the best as well. I don't know if it can make it to W season yet, but maybe me talking about it will probably uncover some reasons why it should be. It was a very great season. I did like the mothership being above the map. That was awesome. That was really cool. And the fact that it would abduct certain places was also very cool. I did like when they added it to where you could enter the mothership as well. That was really, really cool. From the UFOs that were on the map, you were able to get abducted and do certain this little mini game so you could get real good loot. I think that was one of the best additions to Chapter 2 in general and all of Chapter 2, and especially for that season. That was just insane. I like the loot pool. The guns were pretty decent. The railgun was amazing. Yeah, it could have been overpowered, but it wasn't too overpowered. It shot through walls, it was kind of broken, but I think they balanced it pretty well. What they didn't balance was the UFOs as vehicles. That was the worst. That was the reason why this is not on W season, because of the UFOs. And if you played it, you remembered. Some guy would be floating around, following you around, and you'd just be getting spammed by a giant missile blaster that not only blasted you pretty far and destroyed all your builds, but it also impulsed you. So if you were on a mountain and you got shot down, you would die. You would die from fall damage, and you would not want to play that game again. And just the fact that it was overpowered, you were able to float anywhere you wanted, do whatever. The mobility was pretty nice. People who were passengers of it couldn't really get shot from below because it was just a giant disc that you were on. And yeah, I think I did like the fact that you could shoot the driver very easily, which would help out a lot. But if you're getting blasted by the cannon, not really. That wouldn't really help too much. And if that wasn't bad enough for me to describe, it also had 3 lives. So if you get shot down, just wait like 10, 15 seconds. You could get right back into it and fly back up and destroy the guy that shot you down. And I think that's probably one reason. I think that's maybe the only reason why that this is not up in the W season tier, because of the UFOs ruining it. I mean, yeah, they nerfed it pretty bad. It was still overpowered though. They didn't nerf it enough. But honestly, I did like the loot pool. I also like that one thing where it turned like low gravity zone area thing. I forgot what it's called. But what I really liked the most was the cow. That blow up cow thingy. I remember using that for mobility so well. It worked so well. It wasn't overpowered because one shot it popped and you'd like, I think you died at fall damage. I don't know if you took fall damage though, but I think that was very nice, honestly. And yeah, I liked it because I could use it to like get up to people, fall down on people, do like thunder pumps, things like that. That was a very nice addition to the season. Overall, very good season, and the ending of the season was really cool as well. And yeah, I think the highlight here is probably just the fact that you could enter the mothership through the UFOs, do the mini games and all that, and then real good loot. It was just fun. You could drop back into the map, land on people, do whatever you want. That was one of the best seasons I think happened, but obviously you can't really beat season 2 and season 4, especially season 4 in my opinion. And our last season here, chapter 2 season 8, which was the last season of chapter 2. And it was not that bad. I'll say it goes down, yeah, definitely above these 3. I think that's pretty good. And the battle pass was very, very good. I did really like, especially the chimp, and I did the ape or the monkey, either one. It was the astronaut. It was the astronaut, and then I also really liked adding when they added Carnage to the battle pass, because I remember having Venom, and having Carnage was just, without having to buy it, was really nice. I mean, yeah, you had to buy the battle pass, but you know the benefits of the battle pass. I like the map changes as well, the crashed UFOs, and then the cube guns. And around this time Fortnite Mirrors came out, so that's also when Horde Rush came out, which was one of the best game modes out there. I still played it when Fortnite Mirrors came out recently. Very, 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 very cool. And overall, that was very nice. The fact that you could craft guns as well was cool. They still continued that here, and that you could use the cubes that you could find from chests or kill from zombies and all types of stuff. You could use that to craft your weapons into something better, and that was awesome. I also like just all the Kevins on the map was pretty cool too. The mobility and all that really helped out. And just in general, that was a very, very cool season, especially the ending event. And the cube pyramid, I almost forgot. The cube pyramid was a very, very nice addition to it. I feel like there's a lot that I'm forgetting, but honestly, it's a great season, awesome season. And I think that was definitely one of my favorites. Now, I'll probably keep it there. And yeah, it was just a great season, especially the ending, which was huge in the storyline. I think more map updates and changes could have worked. Like, not like crazy, but like I think it could have had more like stuff to it. Because this is up here. You've seen what happened here. I think the more changes, the more things that they add, would have definitely made this go up a little bit. But other than that, the season was very, very cool. Now, the ending was also insane. The flipping of the entire island and the introduction to Chapter 3, which if there is a Chapter 3 tier maker, I'll probably do one of that too. But yeah, overall, this is probably very, very accurate for me personally. But if you think you could change something here, let me know in the comments. All right. that is the end of today's video. I hope you guys enjoyed it as much as I did. And if you want to see more tier lists, comment down below. If there's anything I'm missing, or if there's any opinion you have on it, also comment down below. But most importantly, if you liked it, like it. If you disliked it, dislike it. But just share this video with friends if you like. If you think a friend would probably, want to watch this. But other than that, if you want to see more videos like this, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be doing a lot more content. I'm probably going to give more attention to this channel. And I hope to see you guys in the next video. And yeah, this is E2 Mellow Gaming signing off.